Dear students, GPS CLAT Academy at Gyanodaya, a senior secondary school at Sikar, supports its students in their CLAT preparation. We have started a lecture series which will be delivered to you on a daily basis on YouTube. The lecture series revolves around discussion of mock papers. You can request us for the concerned mock papers. If you intend to join us in our daily discussions, you are most welcome.
Sir, I attempted mock 58 and it was purely based on GK only. Sir, would we provide with Pratogita Darpan magazine or not?
No, but it can be subscribed. It will cost you around 1200, 1300 rupees for all the 12 editions for all the for each month. Whole thing for whole year. You can tell them when you subscribe to it on your by e-commerce, that is on your from your mail account, that just write pd.in, pratiyogitadarpan.in, or Upkar, that is Upkar Publications. This is, then they will charge you some small amount, maybe 1600, 1700 rupees, if I remember correctly, and they will be very helpful to you. Much more helpful than Drishti IAS notes and all that. Those notes are not relevant. Nothing comes from those notes. We already tried them and we found that they are useless. But Pratiyogita Darpan is very helpful. Many things come from there. Manorma yearbook is also there. Economic survey is also there. This would be a big mistake if we start running after sources. Very, very big, costly mistake. We should never do that. Just stick to newspapers, Pratiyogita Darpan. Matter comes to an end. And NCERT. And the wisdom is in going through these over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, so much so that they become not an identification test, but a retention test.
Sir, the mocks you are providing with us, I found them pretty easy.
They are very easy. They are very for example, current they are not in the nature of mocks at all. They are more in the nature of supplemental information, right? They are not in the nature of mocks.
Current affairs, the answers are already in passages only.
Already are there in the passage, so that you have become familiar with what is appearing in the newspapers. And now you will supplement this with Pratiyogita Darpan, then and NCERT, it will become perfect. There will be nothing that will remain that you won't have with you on the day of the examination. They are more in the nature of practice tests, practice reading comprehension, fast reading comprehension. You read so many passages every day, so this is definitely going to help you perform better in the examination. And these are in the form of notes rather than in the form of test papers, mock papers. They are more in the form of notes, that these are your notes. You must revise them over and over again. These are the things that have appeared in the newspapers, because if you analyze the previous year question papers, you will find that nearly half of the question paper is from newspaper alone. So, and rest of it from journalistic sources and books and things like that. But therefore, what you require most is a powerful vocabulary, number one. Number second, sufficient ample reading exercises, so that you are not at sea if the paper, if you have to do 120 questions and something like 18 to 20 passages are coming, then you are not at sea at all. A powerful vocabulary, good practice of having read the newspapers and other journalistic sources, not only newspapers. We will be widening our sources. We will include EPW, we will include so many, just not EPW, so many, right? Logical reasoning is slightly tough. It is not easy, because the nature of logical reasoning is like that. Then legal reasoning also, you can't say that it is very easy. It requires application of mind, and things go wrong. But current affairs, by its very nature, we should be able to do it in such a manner that these articles we club them with NCERT, we club them with Pratiyogita Darpan, and then we are well prepared for the exam. Otherwise, current, if you start preparing the way you prepare legal and the way you prepare logical reasoning, it can get very, very vast. It can get almost unwieldy. So that That would not be a proper strategy for us. If you think differently, you can tell me if this is not the way.
No, sir, I agree with you.
Well, in current, sky is the limit. There is no limit in current. There
But
any
as far I have observed, the current is, I mean, it can be go beyond our, I mean, go beyond our like our capacity to. We can't read. I mean, we can't read everything. There is a ample amount of news, ample amount of current affairs. But in CLAT, they generally give those topics only that are more highlighted in that time period of December to December.
possible. That is, we only prepare according to probability. We don't prepare according to fantastic probabilities. There's no point doing that. That is like spoiling your attempt. There's no point doing that. Just follow common sense rule that limited material studied over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, all the time, all the time, all the time. That will give you far better dividends rather than reading a plethora of materials and then not recalling anything. That would be suicidal. That would be very bad for us. We should not do that. Very, very, very bad for us. We should never, never do that. Just a limited amount of material done very, very thoroughly, very, very thoroughly. That will give you good results. Whatever may be the exam, whether it is CLAT, whether it is tomorrow, it may be judicial services, or it may be tomorrow IES, Indian Civil Services, whatever is the exam. Limited amount of material, very thoroughly done, is far better rather than having several sources and not recalling them on the right time. Just over and over again, over and over again. If you can go through the Pratyogita Darpan, club it with the newspapers. I'll tell you, newspapers will not take you long in revising. They are very quick for revisions. If you have started the consolidation, you will realize newspaper papers just don't take long in revisions. It's very, very easy. But you see, if you have that much information with you, it will help you in making intelligent choices, intelligent guesses. That way your information packet will become very diverse. Club it with Pratyogita Darpan and it becomes a good enough firepower with you to handle any situation, right? So club it with Pratyogita Darpan, club the newspaper, club the NCRT, and have faith in God that on the day of the examination things should click for you. And day of the examination, always remember, don't be smugly satisfied. Just think that you have to perform your best. When you think that you have to perform your best, then only you perform your best. Your what we call as your preparation comes to your aid only when you realize that our exam day performance is important. Whole year I have been working, but that is not sufficient. Exam day performance is equally important. If exam day performance is missing and the whole day you have been working, nothing may come out of it. If exam day performance is compromised, everything can get compromised. But on exam day you are in very high spirits and your performance is also okay, then I don't think anything can come in your way from realizing your condition, right? So exam performance is very, very important, and just don't tell yourself that I have prepared very well, so all will be well. No, exam day performance is important. That day you should not lose your nerve. You must instruct yourself properly that it is very, very important for me to maintain my cool, calm strategy and to give my level best effort. That way, if you do, then it helps. It helps tremendously. Today we have to do that one paragraph only because more rest of it is, I think, just current affairs. And at current affairs, I think if we start discussing current affairs, as such, there doesn't seem to be much in discussing current affairs apart from reading current affairs and becoming aware of what is to be done. Is it not? What do you say? Do you think differently or do you think along the same lines?
No, sir, I don't think there is something to discuss current affairs
There's
because
nothing like.
the answers are already in our passage. It just depends on our reading skills.
Yes,
There
that's
is
all.
nothing to
There's
understand.
nothing.
There is no concept even.
Not no concept, and most of the newspaper articles are written in such a way that a student of matriculation standard or even a student of say 8th class, ninth class, 10th class, 11th and 12th for sure, those kids can easily understand. Some challenges will be there in the lower classes, but higher class students can 10th class and 10th class upwards can surely understand what is written there, and they can appreciate. So instead of wasting our time discussing Pratyogita Darpan and newspapers current portion, we should gainfully utilize our time in highly scoring areas like legal aptitude. You can get 100 out of 100 there if you do sufficient amount of practice. Likewise, in in logical reasoning questions, you can get 100 out of 100. If you get that kind of marks in them, and there is, even if there is just average or above average performance in the other, in the and in English portion also, you can get very good score, no problem at all. Then even if you have an average score in quantitative aptitude and in current affairs, or say above average score, then too you would easily sail through. So according to me, the heart of the preparation should be in tackling logical affairs very well. The more and more and more and more you can do it, the better and better it is. Because there's no other way except for just practicing and more practicing. You know, nothing else is there. There is no magic wand by which we can do anything in the exam in these areas. In these areas, the more and more diversity of material you read apart from newspapers, the better it is. The more diverse it gets, the better it is. So our strategy, I guess, is on the right line. We have been trying to make sense out of English language comprehension in a big way, though we don't discuss it, and there's no necessity actually of discussing the same because explanations are sufficient, I guess, and logical reasoning and legal reasoning do require uh, some amount of discussion. I think it's already 4:20 and only one passage is left. Not many things are left, right? Only one passage is left, and we don't have another thing to discuss. I don't. I think I had given you the 58th paper, right? And the 58th paper was
Sir, but
purely.
I think, yeah, sir, I was asking the same question. There is nothing to discuss 58,
There
and
is
I
nothing to
haven't
discuss. So
done
I
59
thought
yet.
that I'll meet you. So I was thinking that I'll meet you people in the class, and then I will postpone the class to Monday because there's hardly anything to discuss. There's just one article, and the other two kids are also not present. So we can postpone our discussion and hold it on Monday. Sunday I had planned for a math class, but I'm not sure. You'll have to give me at least some time, a little bit of time more, maybe until next week before our quantitative aptitude gets underway, because we are also new to this medium, this Google Class and Google Meet. I have become familiar with it recently. I was myself not very familiar with it. I was just thinking, how could I help kids in the class? And one day I was sitting and thinking, then I must be able to. I analyzed the question papers, and I found that the pattern of the question paper requires students exposure to journalistic and non-journalistic sources on a continuous basis. Now, how is that possible? That is possible only if you have something like the present system, the way it is devised. Because if you have paper and pencil, then it is not going to work. Because so many photocopying all the time. I don't think it will be very efficient to do that. And this is quite efficient, I guess. This helps. Don't you think this is efficient? Don't you think this helps you better rather than that traditional paper and pencil thing?
I think, sir, this mode is more efficient than that
Yes.
traditional way.
And if you want to print, if you want to take the print and keep it with you, you can print also. There's no prohibition on that. You can
Yeah,
print
sir,
it
I
on
was
both sides
thinking
of the
about
paper,
that
absolutely no
too.
problem.
Like
Yes.
before exam, I will do that too. Like I would print
Yeah.
some of mock test to get to get familiar with the like offline mode. as I have to
Yes.
attend CLAT offline only. There should be practice of that too.
Yes, well, one can that can be done in the print mode as well. There's absolutely no harm in doing that. And uh, besides those papers which have been forwarded to you, which you have attempted, and for which you have the answers and in the form of feedback already there with you, you can print them also if you think that your revision is faster with the help of, the paper mode instead of the computer mode instead of the IT mode, then even that can be done. So even that is not a problem. So depending on your preference, you can easily change the mode of whether it is paper, physical, or whether it is electronic. Not a problem in either way. Anyway, but anything else that we have to discuss today?
No, sir, there was that one passage only.
Only one passage is left. So let us. And if you submit this 58, I'll forward you the 59. If you submit the 58th
Yes, sir, I
assignment,
have submitted. I have
so you have
submitted.
just now submitted it seems. Okay, this is let me check. This is yes, you have submitted. What score you have generated? You are getting your score no? On a continuous basis.
Yes, sir, I'm scoring 80
You
above
got-
in every mock test.
Yes, you have got 82 out of 100, right? Tell me one thing. You used to go through these classes at Prince school also, right?
Yes, sir, Prince Academy.
Prince Academy. In Prince Academy, they used to have these classes. Uh, those classes must be very different from what we are doing, is it not? Or they are more or less the same?
They were different because the one who was in charge of CLAT, he was a UPSC aspirant and he was passed out from NLU Ranchi. So he used to just give us UPSC magazines, Vision IAS, and say complete these, read these magazines 8 times, 10 times. And he used to even like make us write news every day. There was a time we used to write 100 plus news
Okay, like
every day. I mean, we have just we wrote 1,000 plus. There might be around 2,000 plus news of 2 years, but they all were in vain because as CLAT, the consortium who just who make the CLAT paper, they don't involve this much wide syllabus as
I think that was
UPSC
just a
does.
wasted preparation, isn't it? Total misdirection.
And we spent our 2 years in current affairs, current affairs, current affairs. We didn't got much time to improve our logical reasoning, our legal reasoning, our English, our quants. Because we were just forced to do that magazines. They were around 200 pages, one magazine. And they
It
just used to provide materials of
was just a
different
waste
coachings, like
to put it very.
they had took the they had took the subscription of legal as and even low prep tutorials as well. They just used to like they were they used to say that we are doing our best to prove you to provide you with relevant notes and relevant all the things you need. And but at last it was just a waste only.
It was just a waste because they
We
did
were
not.
because they made us run behind the materials that were flowing in market. But as the material is just for their business only. As you have already said that the students they put on banners are not in that coaching. They are studying differently.
Very true, very true, very true. Anyway, that was just a totally misdirected effort in writing down things in an examination, which requires skill building. It doesn't require really too much. And I tell you, a person who is devoting too much time in current affairs will end up getting nothing in the paper because current affairs is just one portion. Current affairs, but one advantage of current affairs is it will give you current affairs in legal also. One advantage is there. And
Yes,
besides,
I have observed.
hmm,
I have observed the last year trends, and in legal reasoning, they don't provide with old laws. They just like if there is recent amendments, if there is any law that was in highlighted, that was in news. We read newspaper, it would be relevant for us as you have given us Pratyogita Darpan. I think
Pratyogita Darpan,
most
beta
of the
just
paper would be from that only. Most of the paper from that only,
just
as
read
they
Pratyogita Darpan and don't run after materials. Vision IAS, Drishti IAS, all useless. There's no point doing that. All useless, I'm telling you. And try to attempt as many mocks as possible. I mean, the mocks that we are doing, and not only do those mocks, after the mocks are over, sit and analyze where you went wrong. That is very important. Over a period of time, have patience with you. Don't, performance won't come overnight. Have patience. It will come. Just have patience. It will come. When you will put that kind of catharsis or cleansing into operation, that soul searching into operation, that kind of introspection into operation, in the right direction, constantly moving in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, it is a skill exam, skill building exam. The better your exposure to various kinds of literature, various kinds of philosophical viewpoints, various kinds of thought streams of thought, the better you become, the more and more flexible thinker you become, the avid reader you become, the more and more avid reader you become, the better it gets for you. Maybe if resources permit, I will even put something like, as time passes, 2 papers or 3 papers for you per day. So the only thing will be limitation of resources, because I don't have many people whom I can trust with this kind of work. Because if the quality is diluted, then there is no point. It will backfire. At least now we are doing one paper, trying to do at least one paper per day. But if we do 3 papers per day and we muck up, then there is no point. There's absolutely no point. Then one paper per day is better than 3 papers per day. But if we can consistently maintain the quality, and if we can enhance the number of papers we do per day, nothing bad with that, nothing wrong with that. That would be the correct strategy. But just don't touch anything, just Pratyogita Darpan, NCRT, and your newspaper, whatever mocks I am giving. Confine yourself to that. Matter comes to an end. Don't look anywhere else, because the more you look, the more you lose time on consolidation. Consolidate. That's it. If you want to crack any examination, everything should be on your fingertips. Should not have any, even convert this exam into a retention examination. Don't keep it into an identification examination, because there is 75% probability that your answer will be incorrect. If you don't remember, if you don't consciously recall, then our entire effort in putting these many things together. These papers that I am preparing, there are 3 or 4 people working constantly on these. Then only you can get them prepared. It's not that easy. It takes a lot of effort to prepare these papers. I myself spend hours and hours reading through whether the quality of questions is appropriate, whether I should reduce the number of questions, and then in the legal reasoning, I have to change the fact situation many times, so that to make you compel you to think, put you into circumstances which compels you to think on your legs. That is what you'll be doing in the courtroom also, incidentally, tomorrow. And go there as a judge. Don't go there as an advocate. That is what I want. I want my kids to become judges, all of them. Anyway, so take a let us meet on Monday. Tomorrow there won't be any paper, because office doesn't run on Sundays. That is a limitation we have. And mock paper I can give you still. You have already submitted. I'll be able to give you the 59th mock paper. As and when you are comfortable and ready to take
sir,
the
why
next mock
haven't
paper,
there will be no class today?
tomorrow. Tomorrow there was supposed to be the mathematics class. So how did you like this Pratyogita Darpan mock? Did it help you read Pratyogita Darpan better, or without this also it was more or less the same? I mean, the whole idea why we converted this into this kind of mock was that students are able to find out how to identify things which are slightly difficult. We read through a paper and then we find that what is there in this paper? There's nothing. But when a question is put to us, then all of a sudden we become sensitized to the information which is presented in the paper. And then we start reading it more minutely. So that was our entire idea behind even putting some of the Pratyogita Darpan articles also in the mock format. So how did you like that? Is that helpful, or even if
The the paper was quite helpful as I just read the articles and then I found the questions and then when I was reading the article it was in my mind the article is just like I found that what would be there from this what can be the question from this only then when I moved to the questions I was like oh my God I need second reading.
yes, yes, that was the whole reason why I put it in this kind of format. I myself I have read Pratyogita Darpan articles, and then I found what is there in this article. There's nothing in it. Is it worth even taking? Then I just had an idea why I don't just put it in that format and myself try to do it, and then I did it. Then one of these 58 mock which I forwarded to you, I spent considerable time doing that mock myself in order to test whether or not it would be helpful to students. And I found it very helpful. And thereafter only I decided that I will be putting this mock to the students in this format so that they read the same material a little more attentively. Because the way Pratyogita Darpan, it's not, it doesn't have that standard of a newspaper reading. Newspaper is quite a nicely written articles are there compared to Pratyogita Darpan. Though Pratyogita Darpan brings together so much information, which even if we have four newspapers going by our side, we will not be able to, get that much kind of information. But Pratyogita Darpan does bring a lot of information together, and that can be really very helpful in other examinations. Caveat is that we should not run after material. Whatever we have, we should read that very well over and over again, over and over again, consolidate ourselves very, very well. That is the only way we can, sail through any competitive examination. So what I'll do is I'll forward to you 59th mock, right? Because you have already submitted the 58th mock, and then we meet on Monday.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है बेटा?
The lecture series revolves around discussion of mock papers. You can request us for the concerned mock papers. If you intend to join us in our daily discussions, you are most welcome.